Hello and welcome back to the feature race of Fuji for Tier 4 White Aero League Racing. Don't know what happened really with the problem with the storage, because I've got 700 gig left on my PlayStation and it just didn't want to work, so just a quick restart seems to fix everything, doesn't it? Have you tried turning it off and turning it on again? So then, let's get into this race. In first place, following up from the sprint, is Chaos. So this is going to be a great start for him, and it's his to throw away. So let's hope he does a good job of keeping it tidy at the front. Then in second place, we've got Falcon. Rocket in third place. So he's going to be breathing down the neck of the two ahead of him. And Chaos and Falcon both starting on the mediums. Rocket starting on the hard, so interesting start to strategy already. Then we've got D-Dubs in fourth on mediums, Danger Mouse in the Porsche on hards. Naudi, his teammate, also going for a hard stint first of all, in sixth. So Tracy in mediums, so he's going to be looking to capitalise on that as fast as possible, in seventh. Beaumont in eighth on mediums as well, in the other Mazda. Turbo mediums in the Jag at ninth, then Sargent in 10th, rounding up our reverse grid on a set of mediums as well. Then into 11th place, Blade Runner, probably opting for the wisest choice on the racing hards in 11th, then Orak in mediums in 12th, Ads hards in 13th, Obi-Wan in hards in 14th, Cross on hards 15th, and Radiate 16th, but on medium. So he's going to be looking to make up a couple of positions at least in the opening lap into a very heavy braking zone for turn one. So let's see, given what it was like after the first corner last time out, let's see what happens with these guys this time round, and we'll get back up. Let's jump down the middle and see what happens with these guys. So without further ado, let's get into the race. Rolling start as usual for the feature event. Does make it a little bit easier for the pack when they get to the first corner. So does anybody dive up to the inside? Everyone's in position at the minute, and it looks like Chaos has covered everybody off, but he's already gone a little bit wide. Manages to keep it all down. Everybody making it through, and was that Obi-Wan making a bit of a mistake? Crosses up into 12th. So great start for him in the Lambo. And Radiate's made one position. Oh, and he gets it way too much on the inside. Loses it completely. So he's back down into 16th. And oh, who was that? Oh, Cross with damage as well. So not going well for him for the opening lap of this one. But 24 laps to go. He might be able to do something. And looks like he must have had a bit of contact with Sir Tracy, who's down in 15th now. So it's a terrible start for him. Heavy damage on the front left. And for him, hopefully it won't take too long. There we go, damage is cleared. I do wonder if in the future we'll start to see heavy damage being used on these races, so that if you do get damage, you have to pit. See if that becomes a suggestion for anyone next season, which starts, I think it's next week, actually. Got a bit wide there, so Tracy. Is that going to be too much for a track limit and get a penalty? Or is he not going quite quick enough? I think he's managed to get away with it. So Radiate now up into 14th, capitalising on the mistakes of others in front of him, and Blade Runner in 13th. adds up to 12. See how these guys are going. So Rocket's made a couple of positions. Or did he? No, I think he started in 7th, didn't he? He slid up. So Sargent's made a position up from 10th. And definitely getting a run on Naudi. Taking the outside in 300R. If you're going to get him into the hairpin now, as Naudi, the brakes in that Porsche are so good. He's definitely going to keep him behind. But look how quickly Sargent closes the gap to him behind as well. The power of that Corvette. Pretty good clean racing so far. Let's just jump up, see if there's anything else happening further up. So Rocket's in 7th still. Turbo ahead of him. Beaumont ahead of him, so those on harder tyres probably benefiting the most here, being able to keep with the pack. Perhaps being pulled along a bit by the slipstream of those in mediums, kind of negating the advantage of them. There's Falcon having a look on the inside of Danger Mouse, but doesn't make it stick. Perhaps just trying to distract him, force an error. So Tracy at the back of the pack. Got the pedal to the metal with the fastest lap of 1:42. So we'll see how that, if that comes down any lower throughout the race. Might get down to the low 140s if anyone goes for a soft stint. So Beaumont's all over the back of Falcon. Having a great end to his season. Beaumont didn't have the best start, perhaps getting used to the Mazda, but really got to grips with it by the end of it and having some great results. Falcon again trying to cut the inside, but not enough to do it safely, so gives the position back. Now taking a wider line. Oh, and that's just left the door wide open for Beaumont to sail through. That was a brilliant overtake. Beaumont really aware of what's going on around him and capitalises on that massively. But it's going to give him a slip. There is a bit of a train, so it might not be as effective as it could be. Stays there. Falcon's going to have a look. There we go. Does he go for it? He does. Is he going to make it stick? He's got the apex. Forces him out. But if Beaumont can keep the foot in, then he'll have the inside line coming through Coca-Cola. And it looks like he's going to. Does he have enough space? Oh, Falcon goes wide. And that gives his teammate this position as well. I wonder if his name is actually Jeff. We'll stick with Falcon. So Rocket still behind, patiently waiting just in case any of these guys up ahead make a mistake, but so far so good. So Beaumont's having a great start to his race, up into 4th. Danger Mouse in 3rd, and Chaos has lost the lead and got a penalty, so not so good for him. But D-Dub's making the most of every situation. Will there be enough time behind Chaos so that Danger Mouse can't catch him up? However, Beaumont has just made it round, so those two fighting might also allow him to catch up. He seems safe enough. Look at the battle behind. 3 of them. Good defensive driving, but he gets the cut back. And that's got to be it. No, Danger Mouse has still got the inside line coming into Coca-Cola again. It's good driving from Turbo, gets a much better line this time round and makes it stick, although Beaumont's being ambitious and going around the outside of them all. Not quite enough on that one. And there we go, that looks like that might have settled down into those positions now just for the time being. So we'll see who's coming up behind, if there's anything happening. Sargent's still up just the one position. He's all over the back of Falcon, who kind of give it away really. Both of them on the mediums, around about the same sort of tyre wear and around about the same sort of fuel. Oh, not quite getting the best exit, that's going to allow Sargent round. Different line, getting the wider line through the final hairpin. Early on the power. And here we go. Yep, pulls out the slip straight away. A double V8 drag race. America versus England. And it looks like America's winning with a South African driver. Fairly easy move. Oh, and Ad's going a bit too deep on the brakes, but good awareness and avoids contact. However, that costs him a lot of positions, that does. But I tip my hat, that was good awareness and avoiding action. For that one, well played. So Tracy's now in 12th place, making up a couple of positions. His teammate right behind him, doing slightly better on fuel, and a different tyre compound. Over one up to 10th. Probably not his track. Now then. Falcon in 9th and Sargent up to 8th. What's the gap to Orak in front of him? Still enough time, I think, so it's not anything Orak needs to worry about just yet. A little bit wide of the apex. It is amazing how much that corner affects your lap time. It gives you so much more speed if you get it just right. However, up in front, Rocket is catching up with Beaumont and Danger Mouse. Has a little look for the inside. Too far back from that one, mate. Look how close the gap is. Gets a good exit. Well, not quite enough. So Beaumont's tyres already, well, nearly halfway through on the front left. Definitely not as good as Danger Mouse in front on the hard, so probably now in the next lap or two we're going to see those on the hard starting to benefit more from the tyre wear than those on the mediums, but probably still at least a few laps before we see anybody pitting. Plenty of fuel left from everybody. This could again be a one-stop if everyone plays it well. I would have expected to see maybe a two-stop. So Turbo's managed to close the gap to Chaos in front of him quite substantially now, and D-Dubs has sort of romped away with it at the front. Turbo gets a good exit. I think this looks like, is Chaos gonna come into the pit lane perhaps? He's not, he just tried to go for the inside line and didn't quite work out as well as he would have liked, I think. However, they're both just side by side really. Two fairly even cars on the acceleration and speed. Chaos really going on the defensive line here, but manages to make it work, so he's not doing too bad. But maybe if we just concentrate a little bit more on what's in front of him and what's behind him, he might be able to open that gap up again, because he definitely has the pace. Turbo doing a fantastic job getting that Jag in just the right positions, all in the mirrors of the Mercedes, so perhaps he's just trying to spook Chaos, force an error, although again he gets it, parts on the apex, making it difficult for him to get past. Now if Turbo can get this little complex of corners just right, he'll definitely get the run on Chaos coming out onto the start finish straight. Might be a little bit too close for it now even, and Chaos immediately pulling to the right hand side, but Turbo's following him this time, trying to get that slipstream. Will Turbo go for the overtake into the first corner? Chaos sticks with the inside line, but it's hard on the brakes. Turbo's all over him, but it's still not enough. The acceleration of the Mercedes out of the corners is just so good. Let's just hop down, see if there's anybody else making any moves. It seems like everyone's just settled into their positions so far, and then we'll start seeing a little bit more once the pit stops start happening. Now everybody is starting to spread out a little bit. I'm not too sure he's ready yet. The only person who's driving without traction control. No, I think perhaps also now he's not using traction control, but the Porsche definitely does have a lot more grip than the BMW on exits. Cross also seems to not be running traction control, but Ads is. Well, there's quite a few of these guys not running traction control. I'm not quite brave enough myself for that yet. I run it down at 1 for most cars. The McLaren I think I could use on 0, that had loads of grip, but it was a hard car to get it all hooked up and going quick enough. So now Obi-Wan's in front of him, also not using traction control. What does that mean? It's just not currently engaging. Who knows? No, actually I think there's actually quite a lot of the grid that aren't using it, so fair play everybody. So Rocket still chasing down in 8th position, perhaps closing the gap a little bit to Arak in front of him. Hard to tell when you don't get the deltas. However, let's see what we've got further up ahead. Even Sargent's Corvette is trying to light up the rears coming out of the corners. You can see it kicking in. So Turbo's managed to make it past Chaos at some point, but there's still a fairly decent gap. So if Chaos can just knuckle down, keep his lines clean, he'll be able to keep that 3rd place right to the end, I would think. And we've got someone in the pits already. Turbo is in. look how much these mediums have worn out already compared to, I mean, even Sargent's mediums aren't that bad, and that car's really heavy on its tyres. So both the Jags now coming in, or was that the Jag? Yep, both the Jags and a BMW. Also hard on his tyres. The front engine car is definitely worse off for this one. And the Porsche is doing great. So Turbo comes out in 11th now on a set of softs, so he's definitely going to be doing another stop. Very little fuel, I don't think he refueled at all in fact. But look at that already, just 2 corners in and the softs are already showing their pace. All a little bit too eager on the inside corner there, getting a couple of dirty tyres, but is that going to allow him the undercut on this corner? I think we'll see it done pretty soon. A heavy braking zone, the softs will definitely have more grip, although the Porsche can brake later. Here we go. Oh no, he's done too much. Too eager and loses it. Keeps the position. Oh goodness. Kept the position, then lost it again and loses the position now to Blade Runner. But Blade Runner on worn hard tyres, so he should be able to make it past him fairly quickly. He does need to keep it clean for the rest of the race though, otherwise it's just pointless. So let's jump up ahead. Let's see what these guys are doing. Ad's taking really good care of his tyres on the Mercedes in comparison to Chaos. Just caught it there. That seems like he's probably going for a one stop, filling with fuel, and will he have gone for the hard tyres? Yes, he does. So Chaos going for the long game. We'll see how that pans out at the end of the race. I think those that are doing a two stop will probably see them make their second pit around lap 20. So, alright, also opting for a set of softs and no fuel. Trying to make the most of it. So he'll be looking to make 140, maybe high 139 laps for this tyre to really work, in order to make up for the extra stop. Maybe even quicker than that, in fact. Otherwise I just can't see how it will actually work out for him. So Cross is having a great race now, up into 8th position. Although it's not the net finish, but going for the harder tyre first might definitely work out for him in the long run. And he's not making many mistakes either. His times, although not absolutely rapid, they're all fairly consistent. All in the 143s sort of time. Ad's looking to make a move. Overall makes a little bit of a mistake, going a bit too deep into turn 1. That gives Az the run, but he's got the corner, the inside line for the next corner, but he's already got past him, so that's a brilliant move from Az. Up one position on merit. Both of them, the tyres, not great, but the Mercedes definitely better on its tyres than the Nissan. Rocket definitely suffering on his tyres, so what are we going to see? Perhaps another couple of laps to lap 15 maybe, 14, 15, and they'll come in for a medium tyre and a bit of fuel. That'll get them to the end. Dangerous tyres really starting to drop off as well now. Once they get to 50%, it really does start going. Oh, and Sargent, barely anything left. Is he going to come into the pit now? I think we'll see him coming in. He definitely moves over to the right hand side. And yep, he's in. As is Beaumont and D-Dubs. He's really making his tyres go well. I think we might see him do a one stop and just go onto the softs. He's really looking after it well, and his fuel. So this is a phenomenal race from D-Dubs. Danger Mouse probably going to go for the same sort of strategy as well. Rocket's done really good on his fuel, so he'll definitely be doing a one stop, and yeah, may even be going to try and get just a hard and a soft compound rather than a hard and a medium. But again, we won't see that until the next few laps and see how that pans out. You can see on the map in the top right hand corner how far the field has spread out now. Everyone's settling into their little rhythm. So Ad's managing to keep everyone at bay for now. However, Naudi looks like he's lost that position to Orak, who came out on a fresh set of softs, so that's working for him. He's definitely making positions up. You look at the times, all in the 140s now. Will he be able to get a little bit quicker with some fresh air in front of him? He hasn't got a huge amount of space between him and those in front. However, there's enough fresh air there that it might be advantageous for him. Maybe even getting a distant toe on the back straight or the start finish straight. Now, and here's Danger Mouse in off the hard, so I think we'll see him make the jump to mediums. That's 10 laps on the medium, same as what everyone else did for their first stint. And that gives Rocket P2. Naudi coming in as well in the Porsche. So these guys are going to be fueling and going to the end. And D-Dubs and Rocket, similar sort of tyre wear, but Rocket managing to do a much better job of fueling. Whether or not he's running a lower fuel mix or if he's just short shifting to save the fuel. But a pretty substantial gap between them, so if D-Dubs does come in, he'll still probably be ahead of Rocket by the time they get to the pit exit. So this is a great race from D-Dubs, really exceptional driving from him. But Rocket doing a really good job too, so he started in 10th, so we'll see him definitely up the mid of the mid pack of the top 10 by the end of it, if not higher up. May even manage to achieve a podium. Orak now closed that gap up to Obi-Wan very quickly, but he's probably only got another lap or two before his tyres go. And then the question is, does he go for a set of mediums or another set of softs? In fact, I think he may even run out of fuel before his tyres go, but we'll wait and see. So adds in off his hards. Will he go for a set of mediums as well? Let's jump in and have a look. Well, Turbo and Naudi in as well. So yeah, look at the state of those tyres. Absolutely spent. And his fuel. So what did Az go for? He's onto his mediums, as we expected. Does look like the clouds are rolling in though at Fuji. Could there possibly be a chance of rain? That really would throw a mix into the bag, wouldn't it? So that's our set for the rest of this race. Let's see what everybody else does. Chaos has gone for the hards. Interesting. Danger Mouse goes for a set of mediums off of his hards, and Beaumont also on hards. So Obi-Wan still hasn't pitted yet, but this lap really good on fuel. Sargent now back up to 4th place, but will have to make another stop. So the soft tyre clearly is a lot quicker, so he's our first lap time into the 139s. Definitely making up for the difference in compound. And in front of him, Aurak with a very used set of tyres and very little fuel, so I think they'll have to pit at the end of this lap for sure. Rocket behind him, still got quite a big gap to those behind him, and has still only made one pit stop, so will he manage to make it? I think he could go to lap 19, I think, before we see him pit, as he starts to close the gap. There's a back marker in front of him, wasn't too sure who that was. I think perhaps it was Radiate in a BMW. It was definitely a BMW. So we'll jump up. There he is. Got the blue flag. But there's still quite a gap to him, so I don't think he's going to just hang around and wait for Rocket to come past. He's going to have to earn it. And D-Dubs comes in off his mediums. There's still a tiny bit of tyre life left, so will he go for the soft? I mean, he's done a great job on the mediums making them last this long, so you'd think he would go for the softs this time round, and he won't have to take on as much fuel as everybody else as well. There we go. And he's done the softs, yeah. So here we go, that's still net pole because the two ahead of him have still got to make a pit. So Sargent's on his softs, he's going to have to pit again, and Rocket still on his original hards, definitely going to have to pit again. So I think Rocket will see come out somewhere around about 5th or 6th, and probably pit in another lap or 2, maybe the end of lap 19. Then that's just 5 laps on the softs. Sargent already done 5 laps on his soft, so not doing as bad as we thought. May even be able to stretch them out to the end, although his fuel might also run out by that point. So yeah, this really is a phenomenal drive from D-Dubs. Obi-Wan behind him, not doing quite as well as his teammate with his tyres now. I think we'll see him in this lap, last couple of corners. Danger Mouse really closing the gap fast on a fresh set of mediums. He's all over the back of him. Here we go. And it's not even going to be any competition. Goes to the inside, and that's going to compromise Obi-Wan. There he goes. Lets off and pulls to the right hand side for the pit entry. Rocket's in as well, so we'll see both of these guys go for the softs, I think. No real reason not to. So that's Chaos now up to P5. Oh, there's Rocket's coming out. Is he going to make it to the... No, Rocket doesn't quite make it, but gets P6. But will have a much softer compound. Here we go, soft compound tyres versus used hards, so it's not going to take long before Rocket is passed. Gets a little bit of heat in his tyres and we'll get an easy overtake. But when will it happen? up coming into the hairpin at the bottom of the corner, although it's gifted him because Chaos goes wide. Too much distraction. So there we go, up into 5th place now, and at least a few seconds gap to Beaumont in front of him, but Beaumont also on hard, so we're probably talking 3 or 4 seconds a lap faster on the soft tyres, especially with Rocket at the wheel. So in the next couple of laps we'll see Rocket up into 4th place, and by the end of the race he may even get a podium. So it'll be another brilliant result for Rocket. And Sargent out the front, but he's gonna have to pit again. He cannot make that front left last the rest of this race. That's 5 full laps from here. He can't do it. He's gonna have to pit, and even his fuel as well. He hasn't got enough fuel. So we'll probably see him in this lap. That then gives D-Dubs back the 1st place. Danger Mouse, a great race from him. That's P2 on merit. And Beaumont having an excellent race, but perhaps his tyre strategy letting him down a little bit. But even so, even if he does lose the position to Rocket, it's still a great result for him. Now Chaos up into 6th, and I think he started right at the back, didn't he, at the beginning of this race? So from 16th to 6th, that's a fantastic improvement from him. Adds his teammate on a medium set of tyres, so will he be able to close that gap to his teammate in the next few laps? He's got a few seconds to go, but he might be able to do it by the end of the lap, or end of the race. Possibly by the last lap, the two of them will be side by side. And behind him, Naudi, squealing his tyres through. Sargent's coming into the pits now, probably for a second set of softs. Where will that lead him out? And what will he be able to do in the last few laps with a brand new fresh set of tyres? And low fuel as well. So Orak is going to be running Naudi down on a slightly better but softer compounded tyre. But again, the Porsche is just so good on its brakes, it's not going to be easy for him to get past. But he's got a bit of overspeed here. Looks for the inside, switches to the outside. He's going to get the cutback. Oh, that looked like he took a bit too much, Naudi, but managed to hold it just about. Great driving from Naudi, making the back of that Porsche as wide as possible, not giving Orak anything. So behind him we've got Cross and Obi-Wan fighting for position here. Oh, I think Cross may have made a mistake and gone for 2 sets of hards. So that is a shame, because I'm pretty sure, like in the last race, you do have to use 2 different compounds. There isn't necessarily a number of pit stops that you have to do, but I think you do have to use 2 different types of compounds, so that'll cost him in the end. But I'm pretty sure Cross was one of our reserve drivers anyway for this season, so it might not affect his championship too much. If he does receive any kind of penalty from that. Now Blade Runner down in 12th, probably where we'll see him finish on a set of mediums. That Peugeot really good on its tyres, and also indicating left. Perhaps he doesn't know that's what's going on. Turbo in 13th and his teammate behind him 14th, both of them on fresh sets of tyres, but different compounds, but that's probably where we're going to see them sort of finish. So D-Dubs, even though he's on softs, he's getting high 40s, low 41s, thereabouts, so he's definitely looking after the tyres, and that will help him in the long run, so he's definitely going to finish in first place. The gap behind is a Danger Mouse, maybe what, 7 or 8 seconds? Maybe even a little bit more, but I think that's a fairly comfortable finish for D-Dubs. Danger Mouse though is definitely not going to let D-Dubs get away with it though. He's putting the hammer down, considering he only pitted a few laps ago. His tyres are already halfway done, and Rocket again also reeling Danger Mouse into, the pair of them really going for it. Beaumont in fourth now, that's a net result for him, so that's excellent racing. And there's a fairly substantial gap behind that as well to the next two. So Sargent on his fresh tyres, coming up past Druid, who's on fairly used set of hards now. That's a pretty slam dunk move. So Chaos from 16th to 6th, this is an excellent result for him. Plenty of space behind him as well, so he hasn't really got to worry about anybody catching up with him. And it's only his teammate, so they should hopefully race pretty fairly, although looking at Ad's tyres now, they're pretty much done, so I don't think he'll be able to close the gap any more than that. This is the point where the hards will start coming back into the window and giving a bit more lap time than the mediums. As you can see, super consistent 42s all day long, and Chaos 43s, again very consistent but on a harder tyre, so that's not bad at all from these guys. Orak is really pushing to try and catch up with Naudi in front of him, but you can hear the tyres protesting, squealing for their life. Same with Obi-Wan. Oh, and Cross bins it again. Bit too keen on the exit. Unlucky, buddy. Obviously, driving these kind of cars without traction control is the fastest way of getting around the track, but they do tend to leave you open to be bitten if you get it slightly wrong, which is a massive shame. So Sargent managing to go even faster this time round. He had a 1:39.8 previously, now into a 1:39.7.5, so that's really fast from him. And a 1:40 from, so almost a full second faster than D-Dubs at the front, but look at the gap, there's absolutely no one behind him. And here he comes across the line to, I think this, I can't remember if this is D-Dubs' first victory, but if it isn't, then it's also very well deserved. Falcon mating up so that he doesn't have to complete another lap. So that's him done, one lap down. Danger Mouse coming across in second. Rocket, brilliant result for him, up into third. Well, very well driven. Beaumont, followed by Sargent, fourth and fifth. Chaos, fantastic drive from him, starting from last place up into sixth place finish, and his teammate behind him in seventh. Naudi in the other Porsche in eighth. Orak coming to celebrate with his team in ninth. Rocket's teammate Obi-Wan in 10th, then Blade Runner in 11th, Turbo in 12th, and finally coming across the line in 13th. Now, I think we lost at least a couple of people in that race, didn't we? So let's just have a quick look where... yes, we did. So Tracy and Radiate both get DNFs, which will more than likely have resulted in some kind of qualification penalty in the final race, which is the next one, and that is at Daytona at night. So that's going to be a fantastic race. I'm going to grab myself some lunch, and then I'll get back into it after that. So thanks all for watching, and we'll see you again very shortly.